Global research says that every minute more than 1,000 people are hacked globally. What goes wrong? Where is the leakage, specifically with the financial institutions?
The challenges are today security is not depending on the best of tools or best of this thing. It's more depending on the strategies. So there are three classes of hackers. Some are strategic hackers. When I say strategic hackers, what I mean is they actually plan before doing an hack. So they probably study on what's the nature of the banking operations, what are the key areas. They study the patterns, they study the behavioral aspect of those things, and then plan their attack on that particular thing. Some of them are ATM related, where they breach the switch of the ATM. Some are related to the this one. Some are related to the net banking area, where they look at the applications, etc. So there are various areas which are vulnerable in a banking operations, in banking application areas. The strategic hackers look at a high volume, high value, and single shot kind of a thing, where they actually involve themselves in international kind of fund collection, fund driving, which they can use it for themselves in a different way, where none of them could be made accountable.
How do you think they can strengthen their network or the system?
The primary focus for a banking institution would be to look at their data center, if it is in-house or outsourced, both. You need to look at it, and you need to look at whether where they are located. It's a question of your position of the place, where which city, which continent they are actually belonging to. Encryption is not a big thing, because you can always have a decryption mechanism, but because man in the middle attack you will prevent, but man at the destination will always get it decrypted and have that particular thing into place.
We have recently seen a big fraud in one of the largest cooperative bank in India. Could you please demystify how actually these frauds happen?
The primary thing that one does is they don't touch the bank per se. They don't touch this thing. They touch exchanges which are involved. For instance, you have RuPay, you have Visa, you have Master, you have all these kind of people who are actually involved with the financial institutions for exchange of money, domestic or international and all. So this kind of attacks are possible if somebody gathers. Today on the net you can pay money and get details of, say, for credit card information. So you pick up those things and then you filter a certain amount, because in the credit card information you get only numbers, you may not get the name, you may not get the location and other things. So you filter them, and roughly I look at the type of transactions that is there, because these are transaction data.
Right.
So if I have about say 100 to 500 kind of cards selected of one type with one type of dealings, then I use this card for specific purpose. Now once I have done this, the second practice that I do is there is a area where these exchanges takes place, which is a switch.
Right.
So I create a proxy switch. Proxy switch looks apparently the same way as the original switches, and I use this switch for transacting. When the incoming data comes, transaction data comes, I filter only those transactions which I have identified into this proxy switch, and then once it is into this, I actually do a trading of commerce. For instance, I may use a country which is outside India, maybe Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Hong Kong, Macau, whatever it is, and pick up one of those countries, and then carry out a transaction there with some pseudo companies. So when I bill when money to be received from this, using this switch, using the known card, I debit that card and then transact the money to that particular area. So once I have done that, I have the debit card in another country, some other country, where I will withdraw that money using that card into this thing. So I get into some foreign currency and in other country. But there is a time window for exchanges. A debit card takes about 2 hours. A credit card takes about 20 to 24 hours for this kind of thing. So if I am operating, I am also being monitored, right? So when I am monitored by a NOC or a SOC, they would see the transactions of 10,000 are taking place. In a list of 10,000, a 400 transactions may not be maybe negligible. A 400 minus will be negligible because that has gone into the other proxy, right? By the time they they notice that, oh, this frequency has become, the graphical indicator will show that, okay, this particular bank has reduced, this bank has increased, this trend will send an alert.
Right.
So when they see an alert that this is there, so they will start acting on it. When they start acting on it, the trigger to the proxy guy also knows that yes, I am being monitored now. So if he closes at that time, he removes the proxy out and everything, then he is not detectable.
How long actually does this process take?
The planning part would take probably anywhere between 3 months to 6 months.
Okay.
But the activity is carried out in a time window as short as possible.